Hi everyone, this is Richard. Let's start learning about classes. So classes are basically the fundamental aspect of object-oriented programming. It's the way basically you know how we mentioned that everything is an object in C# or in object-oriented programmings? They're actual, almost like things that you can manipulate. Classes are how to make your own custom objects, okay? So if, for example, we said something like int a equals 1, a is an actual object with the value of 1. It's an object of type integer, right? That's because somebody created the class integer, and that is why we have int a equals 1, okay? So it's not the only way, but a way of organizing large amounts of code. Because if you have to do a lot of things on your program, you can't just keep track of it all. So you have to break it up into little chunks, and those little chunks can come in the form of classes. All right. What a class is that it is a blueprint for creating an object itself. So example, let's just do that again. Int a equals 1. Somebody out there wrote a class, but the class is not the program you run, right? It's a library. It's something that you use. Once you say int a equals 1, the a, the variable a, or apple, or whatever variable name you want to give it, right? Once you give it, this variable becomes the object of type integer. All right, so it's an actual thing, and it's super important to keep in mind that of what we'll go over that in a little bit more in just a couple of seconds here. Okay, so that's important to keep in mind. And we'll talk about that in just a second. How you create the class is the keyword class. Class, I'm going to say a very simple empty class. It's class dog. That's all I'm going to do, okay? So I created the blueprint right here. Now the dog has nothing to it, all right? It's just that I have this idea of a print. It's kind of like an empty brainstorm. A class dog. Okay, fine. So I'm going to instantiate the class now. So this is my blueprint, and I'm going to make the dog. Type dog right here, right? And the variable could be anything. Variable d equals new dog. Use the keyword. Remember, we've done this before for like list and stuff like that. The new keyword just means that type list was a class. Okay, so that kind of makes sense why we use the new keyword itself. And so we created, now this is the d is the dog. You might want it, whatever you're going to call it, like Fluffy. So the variable Fluffy represents this new dog, and so you created a dog. So Fluffy is the object. These are not the objects. Fluffy is the object. And you could do stuff with Fluffy in the future. Okay? So that's the object, and we will manipulate Fluffy. Class is something you make as a blueprint, and then you don't even touch it anymore. And you can make Fluffies or other types of dogs or other variables as much as you want in the future. All right? So let's use class dog and make the dog have a little bit more form and shape in the next few videos. Thanks.